Hello, let's make these cute little puff flowers together. I can think of 100 things to use this for. Keychains, pillows, you name it, it could be great. Let me know in the comment section below what you would use these adorable flowers for. For this project, I'm using a cotton yarn that I normally use for my amigurumi projects, and I'm using a 3mm hook today. We're going to start out with a slip knot, and then we're going to chain 4. Okay, now with the chain 4, we're going to slip stitch into chain 1 to create a loop. We will be working our next set of stitches into this loop that we just created. First, you want to chain 1, and for round 1, you're going to do 12 single crochets into our loop. As you're working in your single crochets, tuck the yarn tail in the back and work it in as you crochet your way around. This way you don't need to sew it in later on. This was our first single crochet, and I'm going to mark my first stitch with a stitch marker. This way you always know where it is, and it will prevent the first stitch from getting too tight as you continue to work your way around. For a single crochet, you yarn over, pull up a loop, and then you yarn over and pull up through both loops. Each of your flower petals will need 2 stitches, which is why we cast on 12 single crochets. When you are done, make sure to always count your stitches. Now I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch here, but instead of completing the slip stitch, I will switch the color of my yarn here. So I'm going to cut off the yarn. So for round 2, with the next color yarn, you're going to pull through the 2 loops that you have on your hook, and that will complete your slip stitch. We will start out round 2 with a chain 3. This chain 3 will count as your first stitch. If you look at the finished flower, you can see that we have 6 petals. So each petal is being worked over 2 stitches. Now let's yarn over. We will insert our hook into the same stitch right here that you slip stitch in to close the loop. Tuck in your yarn tails. Now pull up a loop and bring it to the same height as your chain 3. Yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch and pull up another loop. Now we're going to yarn over and pull up the next loop through the next stitch right here. Make sure to bring the height of your loops to be the same as the others. Now we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop 2 more times for a total of 3 times in the second stitch. Now yarn over, pull through all of the loops, then chain 2. And there you have made your first petal. Yay! Give yourself a pat on the shoulder. Here is our next stitch, as you can see right here. And we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. Let's start our second petal. We're going to chain 3. Yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch and pull up a loop. yarn over and pull up another loop. Bring them all to the same height. Now we yarn over and insert the hook into the next stitch and pull up a loop, and we will do so a total of 3 times. Now yarn over and pull through all loops and complete your petal with a chain 2. Now slip stitch into the next stitch and you are done with your second petal. Now create 4 more petals and I will meet you at the end of the 6th petal. My 6th petal is almost done. I'll just yarn over and pull through all loops and I'll chain 2. And just like the other petals, you slip stitch into the next stitch, which happens to be our first stitch of the round in this case. And then you cut off your yarn and all is left is for you to sew in your last yarn tail. Now, wasn't that super easy and super fun? If you like to see more easy peasy projects like this, let me know in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. See you next time.